What's up, everyone? It's a new dawn. It's a new day. It's a new life. And I'm feeling that Memphis is the new HOH. We have had another HOH crowned, and we are going to be talking about who his targets and his sights are set on for this week. So welcome to your live feed update. With such a wild card rising to power this week, it seems as though everyone is scrambling to safety as nobody knows who Memphis is going to put up on the block. So immediately we see Christmas and Keesha have a conversation when the live feeds are back up, with Christmas asking Keesha who he feels safe with. And Christmas replies that, Keesha replies with that he feels safe with Bailey and Davon, Nicole Anthony, Danny, and also herself. So that could be something that we could see forming very, very soon. Obviously, he didn't mention Janelle, but I feel like that's a given when it comes to Keesha. But I think for sure we're seeing Christmas and Keesha bond a lot more over these past few days. So we'll see if this week they can put some sort of alliance together, because I think it's very likely that's going to happen. We see that Bailey, Kevin, and Nicole Anthony seem to be very, very worried, as they have said they have never spoken game with Memphis. They've sort of had chit-chat with him here and there, just sort of pleasant personal stuff, but nothing game-wise. So they feel that they are in a threatened position this week in which they could find themselves well on the block. Danny has told Christmas that she feels David could be the first pawn of the season put up alongside Ian. And, Cody then straight up told Nicole Franzel that Ian actually is Memphis' target, or the initial person he's brought up. And Nicole Franzel seemed slightly worried about that, but she said that she'd be happy to see David go up on the block and vote him out rather than Ian, because she wants to keep Ian safe. And has told Cody that Ian is with them, although Memphis, I believe, will just sort of, he's got his head hell-bent on taking out a winner, and I feel like the power's gone to his head. So I think, obviously, it's going to look fantastic on your resume if you take out a winner in week 2. However, that target is going to come bite you if you've got that sort of rapport as a winner, or just it's on there as you took out a winner. You are the Ian Slayer. It's like, you know what I mean? People will be gunning to get you out because they'll know you can't beat you. They'll know that they can't beat you when it comes to jury votes in the end. So it's a big move that he's making if he can pull it off. But he's playing the long game, and he needs to make sure that people won't vote him out before he actually gets a chance to get to the end. Cody has told Danny and Enzo that he feels David shouldn't be on the block this week, but Danny and Enzo believe that he will be, with Cody then saying that he really just doesn't want him to be on the block, and he doesn't feel like he should be, and we know obviously that he's quite close to David, which is why he's saying that. But then Danny brought up the idea of the fact that she feels that Nicole Anthony could find herself on the block, and as a result Cody straight up said that he's voting her out if she's on the block, because the idea would be to start chipping away from people that are tight with Janelle, or people that have got some sort of connection with Janelle, and he basically, rather than going straight for Janelle, he needs to sort of shave down all the people before her, so then it sort of leaves her really, really vulnerable. She'll run to the power and they can bring Janelle to their side, which is a great tactic. However, taking out Nicole Anthony and Keesha in the first couple of weeks probably is a slow start to the game, because both aren't really known for their strategy. Both seem like really nice people, but they both aren't known for their strategy. So it's basically just sort of halting the war for another week, but things will eventually come to blows, and we will see arguments, we will see drama, and basically the house will just turn into this volcanic eruption if people continue to just take out sort of people who aren't threats, and just continue to sort of beat around the bush and don't really make big moves. We saw a lot of people flocking to Memphis' HOH room after he received it, and this basically rocketed the game talk for the night. So for the rest of this video, it's a lot of just sort of one-to-ones that Memphis has had with people, but for me that's the most interesting part, because you get to really see how he's dealing with people on a one-to-one basis, who he's lying to and who he's telling the truth to, and that can really gauge what we can expect for the week. So Janelle went to speak to him, and she basically established the fact that, you know, they're cool, and Memphis said back he's making everyone worried this week because he wants to make sure that no one feels safe, and as a result a lot of people will flock to the safety suite, and I think his biggest tactic is that he keeps telling people is that he wants people to feel unsafe, so then they'll use up their VIP pass, and that'll sort of just flush out the VIP passes, which will make it easier for him next week, I guess. He didn't say this outright, but the thought process would make you think that if everyone else has used their VIP pass, it gives him more of a chance to win safety in week 3, as he will still have his VIP pass, which is a great tactic actually. So I think scaremongering is probably the best way to go about this week if you want to stand a chance to be safe in week 3 as well. But the conversation he had with Janelle basically established the fact that they said he's making everyone worried, but Janelle shouldn't be worried because everything's good between them. Again, I think a lot of people probably will be pushing for Janelle to be on the block this week, so you never know if Memphis can be manipulated into that. But for now, it seems as though Memphis is actually in the good books with Janelle, or Janelle's in the good books with Memphis, and they ain't targeting each other. Another thing that Memphis Alliance had to filter into whilst talking about the safety suite was the fact that if they don't actually go for safety, it's going to totally expose their alliance, and, you know, because everyone will just sort of be showing, you know, I feel safe with Memphis, or Memphis ain't going to nominate me. Then everyone will just sort of put two and two together. Okay, everyone's gone for safety apart from these 5 select people. There's definitely something fishy going on there, and people will have already had their suspicions there already, so they'll be able to just put 2 and 2 together. So Christmas said that she will be going for the safety suite just as a cover-up, and they talked about potentially making Cody or Tyler go for it as well, just to sort of make people look like it's unsafe. But I think a lot of people, especially Keesha, will have a great read on that and realise that it's totally see-through, and they're just throwing people in there to make it look like there's not an alliance. If anything, it's just like hiding in plain sight, but the hiding in plain sight isn't working, and they can just literally see you in plain sight and see through what you're doing. Danny asked Memphis, what is the plan for this week? Is he going to go straight up, or is he going to go for a good old backdoor plan? And Memphis replied with, it's way too early for the backdoor on week 2. And that was a very interesting thing to say, because, I mean, in Big Brother, it's never too early for a backdoor. The tactic isn't, you know, okay, don't do a backdoor until week 6. It's basically you've got to do what's best for your game. And if a backdoor is good enough on week 2, and if it's not good enough on week 2, it doesn't matter when it is. A backdoor is a backdoor. Doesn't matter when in the game it is. As long as it's benefiting your game or doing something for your game, it's the best move to do. Doesn't matter when it is. Simple as that. So I don't really think you can say it's too early for a backdoor, because it also depends on the dynamics of the game. If someone is an extreme threat that you feel is definitely going to win the veto, then that's when you know you need to backdoor someone. So you can never really say it's too early for a backdoor. However, that sort of tells me that he's feeling about maybe taking the easy route out, or laying low the fact that he doesn't want to make a big move such as a backdoor in week 2. So Memphis has told Davon that his tactic basically is to figure everything out tomorrow, which is today now, obviously, which is exciting, because he said there's 2 ways you can go about it. It's easy doing the easy route, which is one of the options, and then you can do the hard route, in which it means taking out a threat to Memphis's game, making definitely a big stain on the game, and also it can go on your game resume, or you can just not ruffle feathers by making a small move. And it's going to be interesting to see where he goes. The fact that he's already brought up the fact Ian could be the target tells me he's taking the threat route, but at the same time, when he says things like it's too early to do a backdoor, makes me think he's doing the easy route. So a lot of things are up in the air right now, and it's exciting to think what he could do. So I think today is going to be a massive day for feeds, and I think we're going to see some great revelations within the house, and even maybe some drama, maybe if someone if things continue to be transparent and Memphis doesn't seem to have made his mind up. It's and as well the fact that, you know, we've seen Cody saying that he doesn't want David on the block, and, you know, certain people saying they want Nicole Anthony on, or Ian on. Nicole Franzel doesn't want that. Literally on that side of the house, it's starting to get to the point now where all these dynamics are mixing up so much, and it's just getting all this tight. It's like a tight sort of thing going on, and it's eventually going to snap when people start to go, I don't want this person on, I don't want this person on the block. And if people, not everyone's going to get their way on that side of the house. It's not like, you know, as a group we're deciding to do this. Every single person there has got like a side person from the other side of the house that they won't be happy if they go up. So it's very exciting to see the dynamic there, and I think things could start to snap very shortly if Memphis doesn't do what everyone wants them to do. When Memphis brought up the idea of putting Janelle and Keesha on the block, Cody sort of interrupted and said, you know, don't do that, Memphis. You've got a good rapport with Keesha and Janelle, so it's not a good idea. And Memphis actually did come to an agreement there and said, you know, he feels like this could be the week to work something out with Keesha and build some sort of relationship, which excites me a lot. You know, I'm actively rooting for Janelle and Keesha, so I really hope that they are going to be safe this week, and I really hope this means that it's going to benefit their game and they won't be targeted. It would make me very happy, and it's awesome to see that they are probably not going to be targeted. And also, things seem to have been flipped on the head. They have done some great management this week, Janelle and Keesha, with them being public enemy number 1 within the house, to then actually being on the good side of the HOH this week, who was also on that same side as they were in the first week. So I think that's very exciting and very commendable, the fact that they've done that. So massive respect to Janelle and Keesha there, and long may they stay safe in this house. Another nomination idea that was brought up by Memphis was, after the conversation of putting Janelle and Keesha on the block, he feels more threatened by Bailey and Davon as a pair. So Bailey and Davon could find themselves on the block this week, despite being the 2 middlemen in the house. They are directly in the middle. They've got people from one side and the other side, and they're checking in on both sides, which is excellent gameplay. So their games could be blown up in week 2, which is crazy. I did not expect to hear that they could find themselves on the block this early in the game, but you never know with Memphis. Today, as I say, is going to be a huge day, and we'll find out what the dynamics are a lot more and who Memphis' real targets are, because once you've slept on it, I feel like you've got a much more clear head, and he'll be able to talk to people. Lots of people will be flocking to the HOH room to make deals with Memphis, and it's going to be a very exciting day, but not for 1 second I thought Bailey and Davon could find themselves on the block this week. But for the rest of the evening, sort of Memphis was just telling a few people how his plan is to basically just sleep on the nominations and talk about it in the morning. That's exactly what he said to Ian, and I feel like he said that because Ian could be a potential target. He spoke to Nicole Anthony and told her that he doesn't have a clue yet, and he's basically said he's going to try that tactic of just making everyone sweat and make everyone worried by making them go for the safety suite pass so he can filter all that out. And the last conversation he had in the night was with Keesha, and he basically said he's got a few ideas in mind, so he was actually more open with Keesha than he was with Ian and Nicole A. And he basically said there's two trains of thought, the easy route or taking out a threat route. So he was straight up and transparent with Keesha there, which tells me that he's definitely trying to build something. And he told Keesha again that he's going to sleep on it and discuss it in the morning, but those are the two trains of thought that he's going with, either take out the threat or take the easy route. That is all of your game talk, folks, from the night that Memphis became the HOH, and indeed there was a lot of Memphis talk, and rightfully so, when he became the HOH. I think it's a very big day ahead of us in the feeds that I'm very excited to see, and the target should become a lot more transparent, but as of now it seems to either be Ian, David, Nicole A, Bailey and Davon, so there's a few people there, and all of them seem to be in the middle, so he's not really wanting to make that big move and target someone on the other side of the house. Very exciting times ahead, and I can't wait for the feeds today. But besides from that, guys, I really thoroughly hope you all enjoyed the episode last night as well as this video, and if you did, please hit the subscribe button and the like button. I'd really appreciate it, and you are all legends for watching this video. Thank you so much. I'll say it as I usually do, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and do all that stuff. And until your next live feed update, I've been your host Tom Vasey. Good night.